Hi, this is Father Louis Skirty back with Friends of the Word interviewing Barbara Costello. Thank you, Barbara, for having us
Thank you
here
for having me
in your
again.
beautiful home. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. We've traced some of Barbara's history and her family history from France, Italy, Parma, New York, tenements, and now we're in that part of your life in which you were married, and your husband was rising up in his various jobs.
Well, yes, and we didn't have any children. We were only married a couple of years. And when he was in the service, we had no money. We were poor, really poor.
Oh, we were poor.
We were poor. I used to take a half a gallon of skim milk and evaporated milk and make milk, and we ate a lot of hot dogs. I ate a lot of hot dogs. We had no money. We were poor.
Wow.
We really were poor.
And
I didn't get a car until I was married 15 years. So you kidding? You
a
know that.
car, an automobile?
An
Really?
automobile.
You didn't get
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
What year were you married?
I'm not going to say my
Oh,
years.
okay, okay. We're not doing years. I forgot about that. Okay. Of course, you can Google and find out all of it.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
know.
right. That's all right. So tell me. So he was in the army, and got his first few jobs.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he always he worked with American He got a job with American Cyanamid. I remember that summer when he graduated chemistry as a chemist major from Fordham. He couldn't get a job right away. He was so depressed that summer. And then finally he loved Fordham. Fordham he loved my husband loved Fordham. He an endowment to Fordham, and Cyanamid was looking for a chemist,
right.
and they recommended Al, and that's how come Al got the job with American Cyanamid in New
In
Jersey.
Jersey. Now,
Yes.
was that before or after Cleveland?
Oh, Cleveland was years later when we were married.
Okay, go ahead.
When
So,
he was go, this was before we were married.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So he
that's how
loves.
that's how we got to live in New Jersey
Hmm.
because of that.
And you didn't mind that.
No, well, I did. He didn't know how to drive a car either. He had to learn how to drive a car because Al didn't learn how to drive a car until we moved to New Jersey. Then my father gave him
Oh.
his old car.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
So you lived in New York and Brooklyn,
yeah,
everything was
no
mass
drive. Yeah,
transit.
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Al
fascinating.
was a city guy. He
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, yeah.
And that's how I landed up having this beautiful apartment in New York City. Is that he wanted an apartment again in New York, and I thought he was crazy, but thank God that he gave it to me. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And what was it like those early years with him rising up in Santa
Oh,
and other companies?
oh well, it was funny because you didn't think of anything. We never thought that he would ever become what he eventually became, because it was never important to us. We just lived day by day and doing our little things, and having our little money to do something. So finally, when we got out of the army, we moved to New Brunswick, New Jersey, because that's where he was working. He was working for Cyanamid in Boundbrook, and then we
Right.
bought an apartment got a garden apartment in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Wow. When did you go to Cleveland?
We went to Cleveland when he was in the army.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay,
And that's where
okay.
we lived in Toledo, and he got his discharge from Cleveland.
I see.
But then when we got out, they wanted to send him to Cleveland to get the job, as I told you before.
Right, right, right.
And then I had said no, but he never told me that.
No, no.
But relating to that is that years later, when I was telling you about before about going overseas to live, this is where Mary influenced my life again.
Mary, the mother of Jesus. That's
Yes,
very important to you.
yes, like
Very.
very important, and she really did. And so I was taking the boys to play to ice skate, and Gregory was what? Greg was about 9. Peter was 7. Yeah, and Albert was just a little baby. He was just a little bit younger than 2. So I was taking them to go ice skating, and then Al called me up and he says, "Barbara, how would you like to go overseas to live?" And Mary must have said something in my mouth because I said yes without
Oh,
even thinking.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
without even thinking, I just said yes.
And that's so
'Cause-
contrary to what you thought you
yes,
would have
because
said.
what I realized that after I had the children, at that time we didn't have any children, and after having children, I'm thinking that if my sons have an opportunity to become something, and their wife said no, that would be very upsetting for me.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
that's why I said yes.
Beautiful.
With Mary's,
Beautiful.
yeah, Blessed Mother. I call her Mary, but it meant the Blessed Mother.
Oh, she's a friend of yours.
Yeah, she's my friend in so many ways.
So where was the first place you went overseas?
The first place, well, then when I was told I was going to go live overseas, I said, oh my God, what did I say, you know? And so we didn't know where we were going to go. So then we finally got that we were going to go to Mexico.
Oh, nice.
So then Al said, well, that's a good place because it's not overseas. We're close to the United States, you know, it'd be okay.
Shit.
And then he said to me, I promise you the first 6 months you can come home for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And but we'd have to pay for it because Cyanum would give you 1 year. They'd send you back and forth.
Okay.
So I remember saying to my father, Daddy, what do you think? And he said, Cyanum knows what they're doing, that it's good. And another big thing in my life that I remember that I would have felt bad, you know, I'm very sensitive. I'm thinking of leaving everybody. And they didn't cry. And my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, who was very close to us, and my mother, they were happy for us. They thought it was a great thing that was happening. And my mother gave us a beautiful party.
Wow.
And all my aunts and uncle came to it. And nobody cried. And if they would have cried, I would have cried and I wouldn't want to go. But I don't know why. It meant so much to me that they didn't cry. That when I had to send my son away to their school, I wouldn't cry for them because I wanted to be happy.
Good,
I
good.
cried so they didn't see me cry.
Right, right. Very sensitive.
Yeah.
Your family was sensitive to you, and you passed that on to your children.
Yeah, I don't know why it meant so much to me. It
That's
still does to
great,
this day
yeah.
means something. Because if they would have broken down and crying, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, you would have been heartbroken, right?
I would have been
right.
heartbroken. Yeah, they were happy for me.
So you lived in Mexico how long?
Yeah, I lived in Mexico for 2 years, and when I was staying at the Camino Real, we just got there, and we got a beautiful place, but we didn't move in right away, and we stayed in the hotel, the Camino Real, and I remember getting a letter from home, and I'm crying, and then there was a church right by me again, and Albert was 2 years old, 2.5, and as I said, Greg was 9, and Peter was 7, and I had them in the carriage, and I walked over to the church, and I went into the church with the 3 boys and myself, and there was Jesus on the cross, and something came over me. It was really amazing, and all of a sudden I said, boys, we don't have to worry, we're going to be okay.
Beautiful.
True story.
Yeah.
I walked out of that church and I knew everything was going to be
Experience
okay.
of faith, right?
And I knew he was with us.
Beautiful.
And I never remember, girl, I never wanted to leave home.
Yeah. You were stuck in Brooklyn.
And here I am in a Spanish-speaking country. My husband learned how to speak Spanish beautifully, and then I put the boys in bilingual school, the
Good.
2 older boys.
Okay.
So they learned by the end of the year they were speaking fluent Spanish.
Wow.
And me, I had this people coming teaching me Spanish, and I was teaching them English, and I was speaking this kitchen Spanish. But I could go to the markets and do all that stuff.
That's good. So after Mexico, what happened?
After we were 2 years in Mexico City, then we got transferred to Spain, Madrid, Spain.
Ooh, okay.
So I thought, oh, that's going to be exciting, go to Spain. Now I didn't know that Spain was over water, far away from the United States, you know. So here we were over.
That's overseas.
That's overseas. That's overseas. We landed in Spain. We go to this hotel. Now I expected, living in Mexico, you live beautiful in Mexico. You have maids in the house. You live in these beautiful homes. There's always the mariachis. I mean, you know, there's a lot of misery, but there's a lot of beautiful things too.
Yeah.
Go to Spain, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have all this stuff. It's going to be better than There was nothing. I was, oh my God. I started to cry. Was it now? I started to cry. The hotel was it was nothing like Mexico.
Right.
Beautiful care. And I remember he said, all right, where do you want to stay? We'll go around and look at other hotels. And we looked at other hotels. We came back. We had to stay in that hotel. We even had a fire in that hotel and everything, I'm telling you.
What experience.
And then we finally found a home to live in. And people said, you're not going to find a house. But I did find one for us. But no telephone, no television. I'm telling you, it was really, Thank goodness that I'm an artist, and I used to take art lessons. And the boys, then everything closed down from
great.
1 to 5.
Yes,
You know.
yes, right, right.
Oh, and the boys, everybody was in school, and oh my God, it was terrible.
And you never lost your faith.
No, no, and Al. The funny part is Al loved Toledo, and Al liked Spain, and I liked Mexico.
Oh,
We never
that's
liked the same
funny.
place. He loves. He said the best job he ever had was being the CEO of Spain.
Really?
Yeah, America. Yeah, he loved
Iberia,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he loved it.
God
He
bless
loved
you.
it.
And how long did you stay in Spain?
We stayed a year.
So the kids knew Spanish. I guess they had to change.
No, they learned the Castilian. They learned
Oh,
the
they learned the
perfect
Castilian. Wow.
So when we came into Spain, they said the boys started speaking, and they said,
And
"Where
they
did they
didn't-
learn Spain?"
they didn't
Because they didn't like the
understand it. No,
Mexico.
Mexico,
No,
no.
no, but they learned the good Spanish. They
Yes.
taught them in school.
There, yeah.
So they learned it in Mexico. They were shocked that they learned the good Spanish. You know, that they could
Oh,
speak
that's
the
great.
perfect Spanish. Yeah.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
they were good.
So you spent a life traveling.
Yes, I did. I really,
One-
for a person that never wanted to leave Brooklyn, yes, I did. I did.
What a life.
He used to say to me, "See, if you didn't marry me, you wouldn't have gone all over the world." And he took me to China. He took me all over the world, Malaysia, everything, Bangkok, Thailand, you named it.
To travel or to live as well?
No, those are just traveling. But I went on a lot of Cinderella trips on a private plane and everything. And as he grew up in a part of the life, the end of our life, we had a private plane for what 5 years.
And it took you wherever you wanted to go.
Wherever
And the
I-
kids too.
And yeah, he would. But my husband, when he took the kids, he paid for them.
Yeah.
He never took advantage of the company, in no
Wow.
way. None. He always paid full price above,
He was honest.
honest to the day.
Tell me a
yes.
story about, is it Scotland or Ireland? The castle? Greg
Oh,
was
it's
telling me-
Skibo. That was in Scotland.
Tell
we
us about
remember.
that.
We remember at Skibo. We went there, and I have a book over there on it. It was a private club in Skibo where you go fishing, and you go, shooting. And you had the animal, the birds on your arm.
Oh, the hawk, yeah.
The hawks and all
Oh.
that stuff, and you have you sit at this big long table where they serve you with all the really fancy, and and you wear the Scottish uniform. He had to wear Scottish
Kilts?
kilts,
Wow.
and the women only had the thing across them. What are they? Just across.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was
the
all dressed to the kilt.
sash.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a picture over there.
Was that a visit, or did you stay for a
No,
while?
we became members. He became a member of it, so we used to go there, and then we brought the boys there, and Greg did his honeymoon there, and I think so did Albert. So it was one of the times too.
Is it a castle?
It's a regular Skibo. It's a regular castle.
Skibo. That's
Yeah.
great.
Very beautiful.
So you've had quite a life.
Oh, a really exciting
God
life.
bless
Yes.
you. And now the joy of your life, or among your children and daughter-in-laws, your 8 grandchildren.
Yes.
Tell me one thing about them before we close.
Oh, God blessed me with. They took my husband at an early age, but my husband was not afraid to die. He was ready. He told me he was going to go first. I did, and he says he never cried. He was a very religious man. I remember sometimes I would say our prayers, and I said, "Al, you said you're so fast." He said, "What do you think? I'm going to be like you and stay there all night saying prayers?" He's actually still telling me how to pray,
That's great. That's great.
But the nun said she remembered seeing him in church the day before he died. A Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless him. He
Bless
seemed like quite a character.
He was a character. Oh, yeah, he
And
was a character.
To put up with you.
Yes,
And
that's what my son said.
And you put up with him. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
quite,
yeah.
Quite an
We used to
interesting-
fight. One of the things I missed after he died was our fighting. And the cleaning woman that worked for us said, they used to laugh at us. I said, "What do you mean you're laughing? It's serious." She said, but she said it was so funny the way you two fought with each other. I used to pick on him a lot. I picked on him.
This has
Never said
been
anything.
wonderful, Barbara. I really appreciate your sharing these intimate stories, and I want to come back and pick up the life with the grandchildren another
Okay.
time.
All right, another time.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful life, and it is a
Thank you.
wonderful life.
It
God
is.
bless you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
And this has been Father Louis Skirter with Barbara Costello and all the aspects of her wonderful experience of life. And now she is the grandmother of 8 children, grandchildren, and 3 sons and their spouses. So the life goes on in a very family-oriented
Yes.
way, right?
Yes.
Very family-oriented.
Very family. Best.
Thank you for joining us. Let me hear from you. Father Lou Skirty at hotmail.com.